Hello. Can you hear us?
Hello world.
Welcome to our stream of Arcane Update 5.
5.0.
Can you believe we're on number 5?
It's amazing to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So, for those of you who don't know, we had a beta for this update. That went live, what, 2 weeks ago or so?
Yeah, about.
Where we revealed the Electromancer, which is the new class. And a lot of you got to play it already. A lot of you gave us your feedback. We made some tweaks. But for those who didn't get to play the beta, this is what you're seeing right now, the Electromancer. And as you can see, she's electric.
That's right. Shocking.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about... By the way, this is Thomas again.
Hello.
From Sero.
From Sero in chat.
I'm Viddy, Tim, Viddy, whatever you want to call me. Why don't you tell us a little bit about her attacks? What makes the Electromancer different?
Well, one of the big things that actually makes her different is her primal shield, the Surge Protector. That doesn't reflect attacks in the same way most of the other shields do. She can actually absorb attacks, which you just saw her absorb one, and then at will she can throw that attack back out. And she can collect even more attacks to create an even more powerful shot. So the more damage that she absorbs with that, the more powerful that shot is.
But to an extent, right? Because
Right.
if she takes enough damage, it's just going to crack the shield.
It's going to break the shield like it just did. You just saw that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she does not have that attack. She also has the Shock Sentry Conjure spell. The Conjure spell was a new gesture pose we introduced with the Drifter. So she has a Conjure as well, and she creates a turret, an electric turret that you see. You
can see right here.
Yep, shooting at the opponent.
Oh no, that's the gesture.
That's actually both.
Both.
She casted also her shield gesture, the field generator, and the field generator has 4 separate panels on it that block damage, and they have independent health. And it also augments and kind of buffs some of her spells. It increases the rate at which your primal attack recharges, and normally the Shock Sentry, the turret, every time it shoots, it loses some health. But if you have the
All right, I think we're back.
Are we back?
Are we back? Are we back? Technical difficulties. Can you hear us out there? What happened? OBS crashed on us. Not the game. OBS crashed on us. So we're back, I believe, for now. So I don't know where we left off because I don't know where we crashed. We were talking about the Electromancer and the synergy between her shield, which is her guard gesture.
Right, the field generator.
And the turret.
The Shock Sentry,
The Shock Sentry.
Yeah.
If you missed any of that, we'll try to cover it again. But let's keep talking about this match. So right now we have the Anarchist, Marcus, and the Electromancer, Lauren. And she, the reason we chose Anarchist in this instance is because the Anarchist also has some changes with this update.
That's right, yeah.
Why don't you explain, Thomas, to the people what has changed with the Anarchist?
Yeah, the Anarchist had a few changes. The most notable ones are to his Chaos Skulls and his Pyrotechnics. Chaos Skulls, the minimum charged Chaos Skull, will now split twice. It used to only split once, but now it'll split twice, which gives the Anarchist the last word in that exchange, and it really increases the viability of that spell. It's
helps the quick charge. I mean, the quick charge, we realized people weren't using the quick charge skulls.
Right.
And this really increases the usefulness of them.
Right, yeah. It's quite good. I use it quite a bit.
And then the Pyrotechnics change is great because there's essentially nowhere to hide now from the first wave of Pyrotechnics.
That's right, yeah.
It makes them a little more effective.
Right. So the Pyrotechnics, it used to be that successive volleys always had the same safe pillar. We've removed that functionality. Now it's just random where the Pyrotechnics are going to travel. One Pyrotechnic in each cast is always going to go to your opponent's location, Every other location after that is random.
Nice.
Yep.
So as you're seeing here, she just cast the guard shield, and this is the field generator. And each individual pane, you said, has health.
Right. So you see the one in front of her is getting a little more red. That's because it's taking damage. But her sides and above her is still protected.
So it's a very useful shield in coming from the angle, from the sides, essentially, because you could go to a side pillar and have a little more health, but still not have to worry about your front being down.
Right. Yeah. And it makes it harder for your opponent to position himself. They really have to think about where they're going to attack you from with that shield up.
Yeah. Although once one of them goes down and they know how to get to that,
right,
you got to basically bail at that point.
Right.
Or just take the damage, or block it and shoot it back, because as we mentioned, she can absorb attacks with her shield and fire them back.
Or a really smart player might use the...
Are you saying this because this is you, or are you just saying a really smart player, smarter than you?
Yeah, smarter than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A really smart player might use the Electrosphere in that instance to try to zone the opponent away from wherever that panel is not.
One of the other changes, and maybe she'll cast it here, Cthulhu's Grasp. We've changed that artifact. So before, well, we're not going to get a chance to see it this time, but we'll try to see it in next matches. But before, you would cast it and it was the same sign every time. So people got real fast. I mean, I watched some people at the New York event cast that thing like in a blink. But now we've changed it to randomly show different signs.
Right. So
you can't do the muscle memory thing as easily anymore.
Right.
Which helps because it was a very powerful spell.
It's still very powerful. Just kind of mixes it up a little bit, keep you on your toes.
So, welcome to the stream if you're just joining us. We had a little bit of a hiccup. We're back now, so I'm sorry about that. We're talking about Arcane Update 5.0 for the Unspoken, which is coming very soon. Very soon. The biggest feature is the brand new class, the Electromancer. We talked about if you were in the beta, you got a chance to experiment with her already. But we've made some final tuning tweaks since then, and you know we think she's in a good spot. We've also made some changes to the Drifter since Arcane Update 4,
right?
To make him a little more viable, because you know we realized people weren't picking him as much as they should.
Yeah.
We've also updated the Anarchist, and there's some small changes to the Kineticist too. But as some of you know, the Kineticist is in a pretty good spot.
Right.
Pretty powerful class. So on top of all that, we have some new hand skins coming, and we have some other new features that we'll show off in a little bit. But let's jump back into another match here and show off the Electromancer again versus the updated Drifter.
Yeah, the significantly updated Drifter. The Drifter has gotten some new tools that.
So why don't you?
Quality of life.
Well, we're going to play as the Drifter in a little bit, but let's describe some of the new Drifter updates.
Yeah, sure. The Drifter got a new charge tier to their primal, an overcharge shot.
We're letting Marcus to jump in.
So yeah, now you can charge up your slingshot to a 3rd tier. It used to only go up to a 2nd tier, but now it'll go all the way up to a 3rd tier, and it does some significant damage if you get hit by that. I like to use that as a teleport punish personally, but it's good in a lot of different scenarios. We also updated the Shatter Mine.
Yes, big changes to that one.
Right. The Shatter Mine, now you can change your target location without restarting the recharge time of the mine. That helps out a lot with people who teleport around. Also, if you just saw, there's some new VFX added to the Shatter Mine. It now comes out of a dimensional portal sort of thing.
And you can see really she has to get rid of it. It blew up.
Right.
And left some debris behind.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just disappear once it blows up.
Right.
The other change was some slight modifications to the crows as well.
The vermin, yeah.
The vermin.
Yeah,
as they're so lovingly called.
The vermin now have a slower flight speed, but they are quicker when they're diving.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're diving you have less time to react, but it kind of takes them longer to get up to their cruising altitude before they attack you.
You can see the shield, the drifter shield is a lot better too now.
Yes.
The gesture shield.
Yeah, the drifter shield no longer has spillover damage.
So right now we have the Electromancer versus the drifter. These are our two most recent classes. They're completely, in my opinion, they're both completely different than the classes we started with.
Yeah.
Not only because the drifter uses different gestures, the Electromancer has different synergies,
Mm-hmm.
but just the look and feel of them, like their primals are different.
Oh, yeah.
Very different than the original classes we started with, and we still love the original classes. But it's cool that we're able to introduce new mechanics with each class.
Yeah.
And we hope that you guys are still enjoying that, because that will help us should we decide to do future classes.
Yeah, that's something I really love about these two classes, is how unique their playstyle feels compared to everything else in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They really feel different, and that's awesome to me.
Yeah. Looking at a couple questions from chat, the beta is not technically over, but this update is coming very soon, so essentially it's over in terms of the feedback we got and the bugs we fixed from the beta are now integrated into the live build, which is going to be going live very soon. So you can try to get into beta now, but you're not going to gain a whole lot because you're going to be able to play it live.
Right. All feedback, though, is always welcome.
Yeah,
if you have
for
feedback.
sure. I mean, as soon as this goes up, we're going to post the post on Reddit. We're going to ask for your feedback. That's what we want. We want to hear from you guys. We're always in Discord, as you know.
Yeah.
If you're in Discord, if you're not in Discord, you should be. And we have a lot more coming. We've said through this year we're doing content, and we have some more stuff coming that we think people are going to be excited about. So, as you can see, they're in Lockport Bridge too now. It's escalated. For those who don't know the game very well, each level escalates in the second round,
right.
And there is an arena summon that comes with that escalation. And as you can see, here's the new Cthulhu's Grasp, excuse me, and that's the new symbol. That's one of the new symbols. They're random. How many symbols are there?
I think 4.
4.
I think.
And again, they're random, so you don't know which one's going to come up. So the muscle memory is slightly gone from that.
Right.
However, it is still a very effective spell, and should not be taken lightly.
And you can still practice it and get really good at it. So there's still that kind of skill curve there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just more to learn.
Oh,
More
man.
of a curve.
She's getting hit with the Wraith here.
Yep.
What's going on, Lauren? You're not supposed to lose.
She won the first.
She won the
first match.
Yeah.
So she's doing pretty well.
No, she didn't win the first match. Marcus won the first match.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the
Oh,
first
round. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other changes then that are coming with this. We've made a couple of tweaks to some arenas.
Yeah.
The Midway Pier, we've changed the spider a little bit.
Yeah.
Barnum Station, we've increased the attack damage from the station beast.
Yeah.
So he's a little more effective now.
A little more scary.
Yeah. And then artifact-wise, we have Cthulhu, which we talked about. We have the aerogram. That's a pretty good change.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us about what the change to the aerogram means?
The aerogram, we added latency compensation to that. We also did the Chaos Skulls.
Mm-hmm.
So now opponent can't teleport away last minute,
Mm-hmm.
and the spell will be destroyed and they take no damage. Now if they teleport at the last minute, the spell will continue. It'll still be there, and it'll continue along its relentless pursuit.
And we already made a change in a past update that makes the aerogram more effective anyway. we realized they weren't being used as much. In fact, they're probably still not being used as much as we would like, but that's not because they're not awesome. You should try them out. If you're not using the Aerogram, you should try them out.
I think that spells a sleeper. I think it's actually pretty good.
We saw it in some of our tournaments that we did recently. We slipped it in there, and it worked out quite nicely for people, especially to the unsuspecting victims. So as you can see, if you've just joined us, or if you're curious, this is the Electromancer that Lauren is playing as, and that's the first person view we're seeing right now is the Electromancer. You can see her primal is, you know, electricity.
Lightning, yeah.
Lightning. Yeah. And what's cool about this primal is it's a quick fire.
Right. If we could see the hand, the primal hand, you can see those glowing light bulbs. That shows how much charge she has in her primal. And as she's shooting it, it'll deplete, and then it'll recharge at a specific rate. And if she has her shield gesture up, it'll recharge quicker. Yeah.
And for those who might have missed it during our technical mishap with OBS, can you explain a little bit about the synergy between her gesture shield and her sentries?
Yeah, so I kind of explained some of the synergy between the gesture shield and her primal, but there's also synergy between the gesture shield and the sentries, or the turrets, as you were saying. If generally when the sentry attacks, it loses health, but if you have your primal or your gesture shield up, it will take the health of the shield instead of the turret. So that allows the turret to be out there dealing more damage for a longer period of time. It's quite good. It's quite powerful.
Yeah.
If you throw the gesture shield out and then you put a turret inside the gesture shield, that even further protects it because your opponent can't attack it until they get through the shield.
You're giving away all the strategies right now.
Well,
you're giving away all the strategies. Speaking of strategies, we are going to try to do a stream in July where hopefully some of our top community members fight QA.
That'll be fun.
That'll give them plenty of time to master, not that they need plenty of time to master their classes, but it'll give them plenty of time to master the classes before you guys can go after them. Or if I were a betting man, I would put my money on you guys.
Yeah, it might be the other way around. We might need the time to get ready to for them to go after us.
Get warmed up.
Yeah.
All right, so as you can see, Lauren lost again. I'm sorry, Lauren. But she was going against Marcus, who is #1. Does he have the belt right now?
No, I do.
Oh, listen to Thomas. QA has a tournament where they every Friday. Is it every Friday? They fight for a championship belt.
Yes.
And I know some of the community members are like, I want a shot at that belt. But apparently Thomas now has the belt. And he's sitting here instead of back there.
That's right.
So, all right, let's take a look at some of the other features we briefly talked about. New hand skins. So let's show off some of the new hand skins. That's one of the old ones.
No, that's a new one.
Well, the one she was moving from.
I see.
This is a pretty cool looking one. Reminds me of a certain movie, but I won't bring that up.
It's the all-natural look.
Yeah. And then we got this one. These are the robot hands, are they not?
Yes.
These are cool looking too.
I really love the detail on the fingers. I love the way it looks.
Yeah, we got some pretty good artists here.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's showing off some of the new skins, as well as if you go back to the entrance, we have a new feature for you, the community, the Council Tribune newspaper. And as you can see, it talks about different events. So when we have events coming up, Play with Devs, as you can see, Play with Devs are every Wednesday, 4 p.m. That shouldn't say local time. The local time will be replaced. It'll be excuse me, let me explain. It'll be your local time when you see it in the game. It says 4 p.m. for us.
Right.
Because we're on Eastern.
So 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes. That's why it says local time. You also see some links, live stream links, join the community. Those will change randomly. Those are clickable.
Right.
Which will launch a browser. So when you take your headset off, it'll be open, ready for you to go. You can also see up there the VR Challenger League, which we'll talk about a little bit after this next match.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our new newspaper. Expect it to be updated, fairly frequently, as we have stuff to share with you guys. So you won't always have to see us in Discord, even though we love being in Discord. This is for people who don't want to necessarily take the headset off because they love the game so much. They want to live in their apartment. Now you can literally live in your apartment.
That's right.
The same way we are sitting in the apartment. Maybe not right now because we're not on that screen, but when we go back to that screen, we are literally in the apartment because we love it so much. So let's jump in another match here. This time, Lauren's going to be the Drifter to show off some of the new changes to the Drifter.
Awesome.
I say that like we planned it.
Wow.
But we did. We did plan it.
We did.
So here we go. You might have saw some loading text on the screen. Ignore that. We're playing from a package. This is not the live build because it's not live. Not yet. But soon.
TM.
So here we go. Marcus is going to be the Anarchist, and he's doing a little pose there, getting a little cocky. I think he won 2-0 so far. I think you need to knock him off his horse this time, Lauren. So as you can see, the Drifter. Let's see if we can see the third charge tier now. It's hard to tell because of the first-person view, but as you said, there is a third tier now.
Right.
Of charging.
That's right.
There it is. 1, 2. Well, you saw it.
I think that was a little early.
1, 2. There we go. I think it was there. It's hard to tell from our camera angle here. As well as the mines. So once she gets some ammo, we'll show off some mines.
Mm-hmm. And also the hand shield, the Evil Eye shield, the Primal shield, is a little bit higher now. If you notice on the hand.
So it's more like an actual reticle where you can see.
Right. It's a little easier to aim through it.
Yeah. Here's the vermin. You can see they react a little differently than they did before. Is she left-handed? I didn't know she was left-handed.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. That was a lot of damage.
Yeah. So here's another one of the Cthulhu's glyphs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's 4 of those now. So muscle memory is kind of taken out of the equation a little bit. You probably could learn them all fast enough that when you see it, you could use that muscle memory, but it's not going to be as quick, we hope, as it was. Because I mean, watching some of you guys play, man, I don't know how they do it so fast. I'm still pulling my book out, and they're already casting.
When the game first released, I used to watch some streams of the people playing the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes people would just be practicing that over and over and over again for like an hour.
There's a mini game on the internet where you can just trace the glyph.
Yeah.
Some of you asked about that with the contract. If we were going to do something like similar with the contract, and I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
We're seeing the Anarchist rockets here, kind of the randomness of them, kind of punished the Drifter quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's one of the changes I liked about removing that safe pillar.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't like being on the opposite end with the safe pillar, but I like not having it as well. It definitely makes the pyrotechnics way more effective than they were.
Yeah, it kind of fits the motif, anarchy. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Exactly.
Marcus takes it again.
Starcia says that was me. He was the one doing the practice.
Oh yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah.
He would just do it in his sleep, just trace
right.
Cthulhu's grasp, trace. So for those of you just joining us, you missed out on a whole bunch of stuff, including a sweet technical mishap. But the Electromancer, Arcane Update 5.0 is all about the Electromancer. And it's coming very soon. New class, we've updated the Drifter as well. We've updated the Anarchist. Not as much as the Drifter. The Drifter got the most significant changes.
Right.
And then, we did a little tweak to the Kineticist, which we didn't really talk about. What did the Kineticist get changed?
The Kineticist, he got a new reticle for his debris scatter, so it's no longer like the laser pointer. It's now an actual reticle, and his heavy objects now, it's a little harder for them to hit pillars. They used to track kind of lower on the player, and now they don't track as low. So those will be a little easier to hit for kineticists, hopefully.
Night Ardent said he was also doing target practice with the Cthulhu.
Yeah, I saw a few people doing it.
So, no wonder they're so good at it.
That's right.
Yeah, no wonder. No wonder they're winning tournaments. For those of you who missed out on the New York tournament,
that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. So that Microsoft stores, we had over 80 stores across the country, in the U.S. And a couple in Canada, compete in a regional round, and then there was 8 regions, and then the regional champions got flown to New York, and I was lucky enough. You came too. You got to come to the stream. So some of you met Thomas, and then we had a 3-hour epic stream for the finals. Charizard won. Number 1 Charizard won, surprisingly.
He is number 1.
Called his shot with that name. But it was a lot of good competition, a lot of good games. And to that end, I should say, Intel, Oculus, and ESL have partnered to create the VR Challenger League, which we'll have a lot more information about soon. But starting July 12th, there will be some online tournaments. More so as we move down later in the year, there'll be some physical events where you'll play at actual locations, but there'll also be the online tournaments leading up to those events. And there'll be I don't know what they're calling it exactly, a world championship type thing in Poland next year at the IEM Poland event. And we're excited about it. We'll have a lot more information soon. And so stay tuned for that. The ESL website, play.eslgaming.com. Or follow our social accounts and we'll tell you where to sign up. But again, that's going to be starting next month. So if you're interested and you missed out on the Microsoft tournament, or even if you participated in the Microsoft tournament, we'd love to see, the same people, if not new faces. There's some of you out there, and I'm not going to mention any names, Knight, but there's some of you out there that didn't quite play up to where you thought you were going to play. But we want to see those people back too. So again, ESL Gaming, or play.eslgaming.com is the site. You'll want an account for that because that's where you're going to do all your signups and stuff.
It's exciting, breaking new ground in VR.
Yes, we are. On top of all that, of course they post the GIF. The GIF heard around the world. The handshake heard around the world.
The best GIF ever.
Yes. Are we back in the apartment now? I can't tell. I feel like we are. The lights are dimly lit. I hear the train going by outside.
Lenore eating my food somewhere. Or using my bathroom. Maybe both.
So, again, Arcane Update 5.0 coming out very soon. The VR Challenger League coming in July. Stay tuned for that. On top of all that, our next update is going to take a little bit more time. We're going to put a lot more stuff into this next update.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you a whole lot, but I will say we will learn a lot more of the history of spellcasting duels in Chicago from this update. So I'm excited about it.
Mysterious.
You should be too. It's going to take us a little more time, but stay tuned for more information on that or any potential betas that might come up. As always, join us in Discord, post on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and we'll see you next time. But the update's coming out. We'll let you know very soon. Thanks for joining us. Signing off. Any last words? You may not be here next time.
You're the best.
I'm just kidding. You'll probably be here next time. All right. Thanks, guys.